For my second tool implementation, I chose Haiku Deck, which is, if you're looking for the icon in one of the Play stores, it's this little origami bird. And you create an account. If you are creating a new, they call each presentation a deck. It's basically a presentation app. You would click Create New Deck. I'm going to refer to one that I've created for this particular lesson. I designed this lesson for a beginner ESL class, and the goal of the class is to create picture dictionaries for vocabulary that they are not familiar with. And so the topic for this particular one would be food vocabulary. So rather than just looking in a textbook at pictures of food and whatnot, this is a way to integrate either Creative Commons photos through the Haiku Deck search engine, or we could go on a excursion and take pictures at a local grocery store of maybe vegetables that they don't know the English word for, or they can go around in groups and take photos of different foods that they want to know more about. So there's different options to kind of bring the content a little bit more to life. I'm just going to go ahead and click on this. And this is how the screen will look when you start, except that it'll be blank if you haven't created a deck. This is editing an already existing deck. Okay. So you can choose your text. You can either search for photos, which is nice if they don't know what it looks like. They could actually use this to find out what that particular vocabulary word is. So they could type it in and search. We can add a slide. The thing I like about their image collections, the Creative Commons images, is that they're very nice for graphic design. They're very clear. You know, Google Images, sometimes the pictures don't even seem to relate. So it's a nice way to kind of narrow it down. So basically you just click on the photo and it transfers over here. And then the student can click right on the photo and choose to have, for this I have black lettering. They could choose the fonts and themes here if they wanted to. I picked one that was very clear to read. And you can choose different layouts depending on your needs. You can also add notes. So this is the collection that I created, that a student would create with their food dictionary. So they would choose, if there was 2 of them, they would have 10 each, and there would be a total of 20 slides. They could work together. And when you're done, you can export it. So the nice thing is you can export it as a PowerPoint that you can edit, or as a PDF. What I like about the PDF option is these beautiful pictures that you get that you could share, or we could print out the whole class dictionary. Like we could make a class file with all of these pictures and collect all of them, and we could print them out and hang them up in the classroom. We could also use them just to compile a collective class dictionary in addition to the students' individual projects. So they're just a nice visual. I would much rather see these up in a classroom than the typical curriculum materials that you see that will look very cartoony and not natural. This is real objects. So while there's not an audio option, I could use other apps and tools, which I'll plan to probably do for the next tool implementation, to tie all of these things together. But I do want to tie it into the last tool implementation, which was for BlendSpace. So when you're done, you can click on Share, and you have an option to share with any one of these different things down here. You can email it to somebody. So I'm going to choose the copy link. Oops. And then I just went over to the class BlendSpace, which is where I had the last project for the cultural project. And what's nice is this could be used to be integrated into the food dictionary where I could have references for them, especially if they were taking pictures, say, at home of foods that they wanted to translate into English. If they wanted to practice pronunciation, there's YouTube videos, and there's also the lists that we used for the food vocabulary. So you can see here that I was playing around with adding it, but you could just add a row. I added this as a web page. So it's going to search and find my presentation. And I can just drag it over here. So students who would have access to this already, because this is a class blend space, could add them all here so that we can compile them all together. So I think the overall effect is just very beautiful with Haiku Deck. And you can create regular PowerPoint slides if you go to the fonts and themes. You could choose a solid background and they could just type text. So they may not want pictures on every single one. If they were more advanced, they could add definitions here. They could write in definitions. And the last thing I just wanted to note that is nice is that you can control the privacy settings if you have a paid account. But it's free if you don't. So, it's nice to try out and see if it's something that you want to use before you get a paid account. And that's it. Thank you.